This is a video response to MorganPaigeLoves' Pressure to be Funny. I just thought I'd like to make a video response with regards to that video because I saw it and I really liked it, and so I wanted just to communicate my view on how a lot of people feel pressured to be funny. As somebody who has just recently started YouTube, I started in November 2013, I haven't really got that much of a history with regards to being funny on YouTube. So I'm mainly going to talk about how we can feel pressured to be funny in our everyday life. My personal experience has been that I like to be funny. I find that if I can be funny around people, I can be more myself. However, sometimes you can feel almost pressured to be funny. Sometimes I think if I'm not saying something funny, what am I adding to the conversation? When you've got to sort of put that out of your mind. People aren't hanging around you because you're the entertainer for the evening or something, and that your constant job is to keep them entertained. Sometimes people just want to chat to you, know when to be funny and know when not to be funny. I mean, sometimes in a situation I'll be thinking, you haven't said anything funny in ages, try to crack a joke. But you can't always force it, really. You can't make yourself be funny, because otherwise it's going to be fake and it won't be funny because it's not natural. Like, telling jokes all the time really isn't, it's forced. I mean, I knew a teacher back at my old school who would he'd tell you like a bit about the subject or the class, and then he'd just say 5 one-liners straight after one after the other without giving you any time to really laugh about it. And it sort of was like, it was awkward. It was so sort of like shoved down your throat. It was like the guy was screaming, like me, like me, like me, like me. And you don't want to give off that impression. I mean, if you're a funny guy, be funny. If you're not a funny guy, don't feel you have to. It's not a written rule that you've got to either be funny or miserable. You can be in between. Why would you want to be in between funny and miserable? That's a stupid thing to say. If you are the type of person who wants to be funny, or you are funny, you can't be afraid to tell an unfunny joke. I know that I've told unfunny jokes in the past, ones which really leave the room silent and crickets embarrassed, and so they won't even chirp during the silence. But that can't put you off being who you are or making a joke if you feel it's right to do so. To be funny, you sometimes just gotta risk it. Not everybody is gonna find you funny in every situation. Being funny is somewhat about taking risks. You can't always, some jokes won't always be as good as you think they are. People have everyone has a different sense of humour. You can tell the same joke to 2 different people and they'll probably have different reactions. So why do people feel pressured to be funny? I think it's because you feel that if you're not being funny, then people won't take an interest in you, or they won't pay attention to you, which we all want attention. It's nice to you might want the attention of a room of people, you might want the attention of just one person. Yeah, that's 2 people, that's not supposed to be there. But when you're talking to somebody, don't feel like you have to make a joke or you've got to make them laugh to make them like you. I mean, yeah, people like to laugh, but if you feel like you're not worth anything, if you're not funny, then you've got to get that out of your head, because people don't like you just because of the jokes you tell. They're gonna like you because of other things, because you're kind, because you go the extra mile, because you're adventurous, because you like to do things with them, you have similar interests, and occasionally you make them laugh. I mean, that's not a bad thing. I'm not saying if you make somebody laugh, try not to tell any jokes, because then it'll show if they like the real you. I'm not saying that. Some people are just naturally funny, but I just don't think people should feel pressured to do so, and other people shouldn't think this person's not being funny, so they're not worth my time, because people aren't on all the time. Also, if you try to force being funny, you're likely to fail. Allow yourself to be you, rather than make yourself be funny. Anyway, that's just a few thoughts that I was having. I hope that helps somewhat. I know the video Morgan did was more about being funny on YouTube, but I don't know, I just felt like I'd like to respond with my thoughts, random as they might have been. This is going to be so fun to edit because I've stopped and started so many times. I'm going to struggle to make this concise enough to follow. So good luck with that, Ethan. Thanks.